Tony the Technician's channel, and today we're going to be moving on to my next Southwire tool that I have for this month and the last one for this month, and then we'll carry on with more Southwire tools later on down the road. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is going to be over the 5-in-1 and probably my favorite item that I bought this month, or that Southwire sent me. It is an amazing tool. It's a 5-in-1 type of plier that comes in handy for multiple different situations. So we're going to go into that. I'm going to show you, the stripping features, the cutting, and all the different features of it, and kind of show you the quality, price, part number, all that good stuff. But big shout out to Dave McNaughton. I hope I'm saying that last name correctly. He guessed what the bug out bag video was before it. Sorry guys, I've been kind of out of order in doing things because of the baby. I'm trying to readjust to making videos again. So he guessed it. Big shout out to you. He has a YouTube channel and Facebook page. I'll try and put his name right down here for you guys to go check that out. Thank you so much for your support both on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. Big shout out. So let's get into this, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, make sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you guys. Alrighty guys, so like I stated, we're going to be moving on to this 5-in-1 multi-tool pliers. This is by far probably my favorite one that I've got so far. I really do love these lineman pliers though, very handy. If you haven't seen the review on this, go ahead and check it out. I did it last week, I believe. You'll get the part number, price, and me testing it out on a few things. And then same thing with this Southwire ratcheting screwdriver. Also really nice. I wish the bits were a little bit different, but overall it's still a really good product. But today we're going to be moving into this one. I saved this one for last because I think it's the most interesting out of all of them, and probably the one that'll carry on me the most when working on electrical stuff. And I'm gonna, strip some wires, cut some wires, crimp some connectors, and kind of compare these to some other strippers. So I really hope you guys enjoy. But let's move into this. I believe this one is $25, so really good price on this. It does have a guaranteed for life warranty, so no problems, no hassle. If anything happens, call them or contact them and they will replace it. But here you have the cutting portion, the stripping portion, the reaming, the crimping, and the gripping. So as you can tell, they kind of look like needle nose pliers, but you got the strippers up top. It says for solid, but you can use it for regular wire as well. It doesn't have to be solid wire. And then a big cutting portion, which is primarily, I see a lot of videos and stuff on them cutting like telephone wire and stuff like that, but it is, a great cutter and it works for multiple different things. I'll show you on a few different wires. But then on the outside here, you have the reaming portion. You guys can see that. It's on both sides, so if you have a pipe that you need to slightly enlarge the diameter of, that is what this outside portion is for. I kind of showed an example with the lineman pliers because they also have them at the top. But then you have your needle nose right up here at the top. Then you have the gripping portion, which is really nice because some needle nose pliers do have that, but some do not. Like these Nipex needle nose pliers, they have the cutting portion and then it's just the normal needle nose pliers. So you kind of get the advantage of being able to get onto a fastener with that. Then you got 14 gauge, 12 gauge, and 10 gauge for the stripping, and then your cutter, and then down here below is your crimping action. So it's really nice. The handles are extremely comfortable. They also have this arch here so you don't have to worry about your hand sliding up, past it. It's very comfortable in the hand. It is spring loaded and it has this lock mechanism right here, which I do like how they put it on right here instead of one where you gotta kind of unhook the latch and everything. It just simply move it and it's spring loaded, open, and they operate really smoothly. So I really like these. But let's get into actually putting them to the test on a few different wires. Okay, so just a couple different other styles of strippers that I have would be these and these. These do not work very well at all. There's a lot of play in them. They're not sharp. You got to really pull on the wire to strip it. The crimping portion, I hate this style of crimping. It just doesn't do a very good job. Those are a really cheap pair of crimpers or strippers. These I really enjoy. But I gotta tell you, the one reason I like the crimping portion on this is because the part that actually does the crimping is actually quite wide, so you get a really good crimp on a connector. Whereas something like this, it's very thin, and it only crimps, you know, a very small portion of the connector. So we'll go ahead and test that out, and I'll kind of show you the difference. So here I have a connector, and I'm just going to crimp it. And don't get me wrong, these crimpers do a really good job, just because it pushes pretty deep into the connector, so it's really nice. But with these, it can basically crimp half of the connector, and it's really easy. As you can tell the difference there. This one does crimp deeper, but this one has a much wider crimping area, and it does an extremely good job. So I really like the crimping portion on this, and I like that it's at the base as well. Because some situations it's easier to crimp at the bottom, but then when you're up in like a dash or something, it might be easier to use these because the crimping portion is at the top. But now that we've went over the crimping portion, let's strip some wires. So here I have some, I think this is 14 gauge. We'll just throw it in here. And it strips the wires super easy. It's extremely sharp, no problem whatsoever. Cut that off. Do it again. So 14 gauge cuts it extremely easily, like butter. So here I have some 10 gauge. This is not solid wire, but we'll go ahead and put it in the 10 gauge, and it strips it extremely well. It's really easy. As you can tell, it didn't remove any of the wires, even though it's not a solid wire. It did not pull any of the strands off or break them or anything. It just easily cut it like butter. So we'll go ahead and cut that off. Put it back in here. Really easy. I'm extremely happy with these strippers. So you saw me cut and strip both 14 gauge and 10 gauge wire. Now what we have here is some 6 gauge, I believe it is. And just to show you how well this cutter works, we'll go ahead and just cut a small chunk off of here. Really easy. I wish you guys could feel it, but just trust me, it cuts the wire extremely easily. So that's a 6 gauge wire, and what we have here is 4 gauge wire. So it's a little bit bigger, so we're going to go ahead and put this to the test. It should be able to do it. It's a little bit bigger than your normal telephone cable and stuff like that. So really easy. It cuts that really, really easy. So there you go. Oh, there we go. So it does a really good job of cutting not only solid but stranded wire as well. That was 14 gauge, 10 gauge, 6 gauge, and 4 gauge. All right there. As you can tell, it strips and cuts extremely well. Now another reason I like this open jaw feature, you can find them on some needle nose pliers, but I grabbed these just to show you that some needle nose pliers do not come with that feature. And when you go to grab a fastener, it's not really the best set of pliers to grab a bolt or a nut with, because it doesn't really grab the sides all that well because of the angle that they're at. So you can't really get good leverage on a fastener. But with these, you can see the head is pretty thick up here. You can see that. Really thick up top, so you got a good surface area for grabbing fasteners. And it's got those teeth in there. It will grab onto a fastener really well, and you can break fasteners loose or tighten them up. So I really like that feature. And at first I thought with them bringing this thickness from this thick down to this, I thought at first, you know, looking from the inside, that that might be a weak point, but really you still have a really good thick shaft here where the reaming portion is. So it's still really strong. You don't really have to worry about breaking them or anything. They feel extremely strong in the hand as well. But that is the 5-in-1 multi-tool from Southwire Tools, part number S5N1. and if I remember correctly, they are around $25. All three of these items will be linked down in the description. I believe these are 20, 25, and 29. So all really good prices on these electrical tools. Well, this isn't necessarily electrical tools, but really good prices on them. They all come with a lifetime warranty, guaranteed for life, no hassle whatsoever. Just contact them, let them know what's wrong, and they'll take care of you. But this is the packaging it comes in. It says easily strips 10, 12, and 14 solid wire. Narrow jaw allows access to tight spaces. Crimps common size wires. Reams and smooths thin wall conduit ends. Multifunction grips, strips, crimps, reams, and cuts. So it's a great tool overall. As you guys can tell, the blades on here are extremely strong or sharp, and the jaw is really strong as well. You don't have to worry about that breaking or anything like that. So kind of a close-up of it. And Southwire on both sides of the handles, and that's about it for the 5-in-1 multi-tool. That is it for the Southwire 5-in-1 multi-tool pliers. Another thing I forgot to mention is there is a rust-resistant coating. Obviously you can tell all the black is the rust-resistant coating. And then where the blades and the strippers and everything are, it is nicely polished and everything. It's really clean. They did a really good job on it. They feel extremely strong. So if you are interested in any three of those items, they will be linked down below. I think they're a pretty damn good price, lifetime warranty, so good tools. And I've really found those to come in handy. It's a lot easier to have a multi-tool when working on wiring and stuff inside the car, instead of grabbing, 3 or 4 different sets of pliers and stuff like that. So they're pretty damn handy. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you guys.